Welcome inside the Gene Policini Center on the campus of the Rochester Institute of Technology, where a good crowd is expected here once again tonight for the second and final meeting of the regular season between RIT and the Air Force Academy. Tigers enter the night looking to snap a 5-game losing skid against the Falcons in this building. Hey, number 88 for Air Force is Kieran Durgan. He, along with Evan Fino and Matt Pulver, comprised the Falcons' top line, and last night they were the difference, accounting for all 3 Air Force goals. You better believe they have the Tigers' attention heading into tonight. You are watching RIT SportsZone Pregame Live, presented by Taylor the Builder. So much to get to over the next half hour as we get you set for face-off at 7:05. Good evening, I'm Kevin Roach, and welcome to RIT SportsZone Pregame Live right here on CW Rochester. Well, RIT and Air Force have accounted for the last 4 Atlantic Hockey Championships. In fact, these 2 programs have been the class of the league since they both joined back in 2006. But the rivalry has been a little lopsided of late, with the Falcons winning 8 of the last 10 meetings heading into last night. Always a tight game when these two meet up here at the Policini Center. And we had the highlights from last night after a scoreless first period that saw just 10 shots on net. Oh, it picked up big time in the second period. Great chance here by Air Force. Pressure in front of Logan Drackett. They just couldn't catch a break as the puck trickles through the crease and out and misses by inches, if not less. Goalie interference called on that play by Kyle Hake. So they were 4-on-4, and RIT would capitalize. Abbott Gurdukas to Dan Willett. His first goal of the season, just 2:14 into the second. RIT had a 1-0 lead. Midway through the period, RIT a chance to get their second on the night. Kobe Walker to Will Calverley, but Billy Christopoulos makes the stop. He would stop 18 on the night after a penalty on Chris McKay for cross-checking Air Force on the power play. They get this game even as Kieran Durgan puts in the rebound. It was 1-1 after 2. In the third, Air Force on the attack again. Drackett makes the stop, but there's a scramble in front. Air Force players whacking at it, and the puck finally goes under Drackett and in. Logan not happy about it. Luckily, no penalty assessed for goaltender, losing his cool a little bit there. Evan Fino would get credit for his 6th goal on the year. 2-1 Falcons on top. Then later in the period, off the turnover, Matt Pulver, the breakaway, beating Drackett to seal it right there. Air Force hands RIT its first home loss of the year after a 3-1 victory last night.
Exactly. They played exactly how we expected them to. Hard to play against, hard to get to their net, and then they're all over us in our end. So we knew we were going to expect that. We tried our best, I guess, but we have a lot more than that, and we're going to have to bring it tomorrow night if we're going to get the 2 points.
They don't play too much of a skill game. There's nothing, razzle-dazzle about them. They just get pucks to the net, they grind, they outwork, they chip pucks out, and, it seems like they did that, to a T tonight, and we just didn't come back with that equal effort on our side to kind of equalize what they were doing, and we ended up with a loss.
The most important thing from this weekend now, how this team responds tomorrow?
Oh, certainly. It always is. You lose a Friday game, or any team in the league loses a Friday game, you got to be coming out that Saturday, you're eager to get that split, because if you don't get that split, you're moving down in the standings. And, we're fortunate, I guess, at this point to have games in hand, but the games in hand don't mean anything if we're not accumulating some points and some wins on the weekend.
Yeah, the Tigers want those 2 points here tonight. So for the first time this season, RIT loses at home last night to Air Force, as they didn't allow the Tigers any really quality looks at the net. Falcons outshot RIT 29-19. And penalties, RIT the more penalized team, and it cost them. Air Force going 1 for 3 on the man advantage. Tigers have struggled on the power play this year. They went 0 for 4 last night. Joined now by the head coach of the RIT Tigers, Wayne Wilson. And coach, we talked about it last night, 19 shots on net for this team. The power play is struggling a little bit. How do you generate some offense here tonight?
Well, we do have to generate a lot more offense, get more pucks to the net, and really kind of attack. Our power play's actually been very good. We don't have the goals to show for it, but territorially, we set up. We do a lot of good things on it, but we do got to get the bottom line on the power play, scoring goals. So we got to get better at that. But I like the way our power play looks. Now we've just got to, get some results from it. But 5-on-5, we just need to be a much better team than we were last night. And a lot of it was really dictated by Air Force. I thought they defended well, got the pucks out real quick. We didn't have any sustained pressure in their zone, and we got to do a lot better job that way.
Yeah, your captains talked to us last night after the game. Team seemed to lose its composure a little bit late in a 1-goal game. How did you address that after it's going to happen, but you expect that?
Every game's going to be different. So last night you get 0-0 after 1-1-1 after 2. I think we were frustrated the fact that we didn't generate a lot of offense, but that's just the way the game, different. You've got to learn to play in a lot of different games. So this was a tight checking game last night. You can't be frustrated with it. You've got to be patient because the next goal, obviously, the second goal was going to be a big goal, particularly the deeper you went into the third period because it was hard to score. So I just think more patience in that regards, but more urgency in the other part. So, it sounds contradictory, but you can play with a sense of urgency but still be patient. Like for us, things like getting over the pucks and not just throwing them blindly into the slot when maybe no one's there. We've got to be a little bit more patient, wait for the opportunity, and something will open up, and then you've got to take advantage of it. So for us, focus, energy, and execution are three critical things that we need to do tonight.
Hey, it's December 1st already, if you can believe it. Are you pleased where your team is at this juncture of the season? I know it's early, but
yeah, you can't always look at a loss as being really frustrated. I think we've played pretty well up to this point. We've got to get a couple more lines going. I think the defensemen are going. I think Drac is doing a real good job in net. So I just think we've got to spread it out a little bit more. Our top players have to score, but then you've got to get some other people chipping in as well. So I think that's what we're looking for tonight. But it's not. Our backs are up against the wall here a little bit. They're playing with house money here, and that they won last night. But we've got to, really kind of bring it to them. And I think the first goal tonight's going to be critical as well.
Always is, Coach. Best of luck here tonight. We thank you so much for your time, and we'll talk to you in the postgame with Kim Burnson downstairs a little bit later on tonight. Head coach Wayne Wilson of the RIT Tigers. As I mentioned, it has been a great series between RIT and Air Force since both joined Atlantic Hockey with the win last night. The all-time series is now 31-21-4 in favor of the Falcons. Air Force has won 8 of the last 10 meetings. And when it comes to championships in this league, you look at these two programs. They are the gold standard and have been responsible for 10 of the last 12 tournament championships. Don't be surprised if we see them both at the Harbor Center come March. One big reason for all that success, consistency at the top for both programs. Wayne Wilson's been here guiding the Tigers for 20 seasons now. And on the other bench, Frank Serratori has been with the Falcons for 22 years. Our John DiTullio standing by live now with the Air Force head coach. Good evening, John.
Good evening, Kevin. It's always great to be with you, Frank. First off, your team was so good last night. How do you follow that up with an encore performance tonight?
Well, we'll find out because we were so bad 2 weeks ago at AIC. And it was, like, be honest with you, I slept a lot better last night knowing that we were capable of playing better, that we weren't in a downward death spiral, and we did it. That last night, I don't know if we can, at this point in time in the season, I don't know if we can play much better than we played last night. We could be a little better on the dot. RIT is just so dang good on the face-off dot. But other than that, I mean, we couldn't have asked more for our guys. I was real proud of them. Wayne was telling Kevin that you're playing with house money. His team is going to be the desperate team tonight. Well, I mean, on any given weekend, you're always going to have a push from the team that loses. And our league is so tight. There's not a lot of goals separating the top from the bottom. I mean, all the teams are pretty good. And when whoever loses that first game on a weekend, like, you're going to get a push from that other team. And, obviously, hey, RIT's a proud team. We're a proud team. They lost last night, and they're playing at home. You don't want to get swept anywhere, but you especially don't want to get swept at home. We were talking, you should buy a house here. You guys, you play so well when you come to Rochester. You're shopping at Wegmans. You're going to Dunkin'. You own this city. I got a Wegmans card. All we need is a direct flight from Denver to Rochester on Southwest Airlines. And I'm telling you, I got that going. No, I'm a big Rochester fan for a lot of reasons. Be honest with you, I'm a big fan of this RIT program. I love coming here. I love the spirit at this school, the spirit of the kids. The RIT hockey team, always competitive, always tough to play against. They're well coached. They're a class act. No, I do. I like Rochester. I like coming here. Well, you're 5-0 in this building in regular season games. Are you kidding me? 5-0. I didn't know that. I just remember the 2 that they stapled us in the playoffs. So it was back in 2015. But regular season, you've got it done here. Well, that's good to know. Let's hope that the law of averages doesn't work against us tonight. We love having you, Frank. Thanks for taking time with us. He's one of the best. That's head coach Frank Serratori. Kevin, back to you.
Oh, John, no doubt about it. He is great TV, and we love, one of the opposing coaches, we love having him here in Rochester. Well, if you haven't checked out the Atlantic Hockey standings lately, Frank Serratori mentioned it. Things are looking pretty tight from top to bottom. Army, thanks to a victory over Canisius last night, is pulled into a first-place tie with Niagara, but the Cadets were unable to take over sole possession this afternoon. We'll show you that score in a moment. Air Force just a point behind thanks to last night's win here. RIT currently in 7th place with 9 points, but as you can see, and as we've mentioned, only 6 points separating 1st through 9th place right now. Unbelievable in Atlantic hockey. How about elsewhere this afternoon? Robert Morris earning a split of their series with Sacred Heart winning in overtime. 2-1. Canisius earned a split as well, defeating Army 4-2. Mercyhurst goes for the sweep of Bentley at 7:05, while Niagara, playing out of conference this weekend, is at Western Michigan, and AIC and Holy Cross also getting going here in just a bit. Well, still to come on the program, the RIT women's hockey team wrapped up its 2-game series with Lindenwood this afternoon. We'll show you how they fared. Plus, the Policini Center is 5 years old this year, and some people are still asking why there's a lone orange seat in this building. We'll revisit that story in just a bit. But up first, we're only 12 games into the season, and he's already surpassed his numbers from a year ago. Number 14, Jake Hamaker of the Tigers joins our Kim Burnson live next as we get you set for round number 2 between the Falcons and Tigers at 7:05. This is RIT Sports Zone Pregame Live. Back here at RIT Sports Zone Pregame Live, the beautiful RIT campus, home to over 19,000 students from all 50 states, over 100 different countries, many of whom will be in attendance here tonight, showing off their Tiger pride. Hey, speaking of the Tigers, in net tonight for RIT, for the 13th straight game is Logan Drackett. Drackett had a bit of a frustrating night on Friday, but he has been steady all season long, as Coach Wilson mentioned earlier in the broadcast. 6-5-1 on the year with a 2.24 goals against average. On the other side, Air Force sticking with number 44, Billy Christopoulos, the senior from Raleigh, North Carolina, returned to the lineup last night after missing 4 games with an injury. Christopoulos made 18 saves against the Tigers. RT hopes to test the Air Force netminder much more here tonight. One of the guys who will look to get the Tigers offense going is sophomore forward Jake Hamaker. Hamaker has had a tremendous season thus far, surpassing his point total from last season, and he did it in just 11 games this year. He's standing by live now with our Kim Burnson. Good evening, Kim.
Thanks, Kevin. Jake, you guys finished last night with 19 shots on goal. What do you have to do to ensure a couple more opportunities there in front of the net?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing tonight is just don't take advantage of not getting shots on goal. Like, if you have a chance to get a shot on goal, you have to take it against these guys. They do such a good job at blocking shots and stuff. We just can't give up any opportunities to shoot the puck.
We saw frustrations kind of boil over a little bit last night, especially when a couple calls didn't go your way. How do you channel that knowing you have to play these guys again tonight?
Yeah, they're a frustrating team to play against, but the biggest thing we have to do tonight is just stay composed in our game. We know how we need to play tonight, and if we stick to that game plan, I think we'll be fine.
And what's the dynamic been like in the locker room heading into a game tonight against Air Force?
The biggest thing, we know they're a good team. They know we're a good team. We know it's going to be a battle, and we're excited for it, and I know they are excited for it. We can't let them come into our house and take 4 points from us. We got to win tonight.
Jake, thanks so much. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Kevin?
All right, Kim, thanks so much. We'll look forward to your reports throughout the broadcast here tonight. Meanwhile, the RIT women's hockey team has endured some tough times on the ice the last 3 seasons. A year ago, the Tigers only won 4 games. Well, this afternoon, they had a chance to earn their 5th victory of the year already at just the midway point of the schedule. Tigers looking to complete the 2-game sweep of Lindenwood in conference play. First period, Tigers on the power play. Mallory Rushton. The shot, Hunter Barnett. The deflection, her 5th on the year, put RIT in front, 1-0. Second period, just 47 seconds in. Ellie Larson from just inside the blue line, winding up, and Sophie Wolf never saw it coming. Tigers take a 2-1 lead. Later in the period, play of the day, Abby Davies to who else but Larson. Big day for her. Denied at first, but she comes right back and buries the rebounder. Second of the day. It proves to be the game winner. RIT sweeps Lindenwood 3-2. So with 2 big conference wins this weekend, the Tigers move up to 4th in the College Hockey America standings. Mercyhurst, the defending champs, are on top followed by Robert Morris and Syracuse. RIT ends the calendar year next week with a non-conference 2-game series here at home with Boston University. How about some women's basketball? RIT and Union at the Clark Gym this afternoon in a conference matchup. Fourth quarter, Tigers only up 4. Sabrina Wolf gives it up, gets it back, and drills the 3. Tigers up by 7. Then on the break, here comes RIT again. Corey Okada takes the feed and makes the layup look easy. Tigers made some big plays down the stretch as Union leaves Wolf wide open in the corner, and she makes them pay. Sabrina Wolf led the way for RIT with 22 points. Tigers win 66-59, improved to 6-0 on the year. A tough start to the conference schedule for the RIT men's basketball team. They fall to 0-2 in the Liberty League following a 74-68 loss to Union. They'll face Nazareth on Thursday in the Crosstown Shootout. Well, still to come on the show, John and Jean will join us to share who they think we should be keeping an eye on here tonight between RIT and Air Force. And of the 4,300 seats at the Policini Center, only this one sticks out in the crowd. We'll revisit the great story behind why a lone orange seat sits among a sea of gray and black here next. This is RIT SportsZone Pregame Live.
Duckus going against Cook. Sends it to Willett. Fires.
Yes.
It scores. Beautiful feed by Duckus to Dan Willett, who cashes in. Sending it back. Maynard faking the shot. Sobner walking in. Sobner, the shot that hit the iron. Off the post. Keeping this a 1-0 game. The deflection in front. Puck goes in.
Chipped it in. Chipped it right over Drackett on the rebound. Drackett with the initial great save, and then in the rebound, he just chipped it right over.
Mirages now to the far side. And Drackett the save. Where's the rebound? And it's in.
Man.
Oh, Drackett.
Boy.
Uh-oh. And Drackett loses his cool. Brown gets hit, but Hammaker comes back with it. That'll deflect. Here's Pulver. Matt Pulver going in. Pulver scores.
Boy, the giveaway near mid-ice too, Gino.
And with 4:28 remaining, Air Force takes the 2-goal lead.
Yeah, that is how Air Force Academy pulled off its 5th consecutive victory in this building over RIT last night. If you ever want to catch highlights from a home game you may have missed, head to our website, ritsc.com, and click on Hockey Central to view individual games from this year and previous years as well. The guys you just heard on the call join us now. John DiTullio, Gene Battaglia, in the midst of their 11th season of calling RIT hockey. And guys, you've seen enough Air Force RIT games over the years, and last night proved to be a pretty typical game in this series. Always tight, few opportunities that come far and few between, guys, but you have to capitalize on them, and Air Force did that last night.
Yeah, no question. Good evening, Kevin. As 19 shots on goal, John. You need more opportunities tonight.
They're going to have to create some opportunities, but you got to give Air Force a lot of credit. I think their size and speed really caused a lot of problems for the Tigers offense. That's the key tonight. How can Wayne and his team generate more opportunities?
This is an Air Force team that has won each of the last 2 Atlantic Hockey Championships, returning a lot from those teams, including defenseman Matt Cook. Cook was great last night.
Phenomenal. Talking with Frank's territory just moments ago, he thought his entire club played very well, but this is the guy who's just tremendous. It's just a great two-way player and really anchors that blue line for the Falcons.
Yeah, so while we'll pay attention to that top line of Fino and Pulver, it's the blue line that has been the strength of this Air Force team. As far as the RIT Tigers are concerned tonight, Jake Hammaker, who Kim Burnson talked to earlier, that second line needs to produce tonight.
They're going to have to come up big, and Hammaker has got 4 multi-point games this year. I think he's one of those leaders who's really quietly having just a tremendous season, just a sophomore. He's already exceeded his point total from a year ago, and we're not even into the month of January yet. So look for that second line to play a key role tonight if the Tigers want 2 points.
Hammaker on that line with Alden Dupuis and Sean Cameron. The Tigers looking for the weekend split. So what has to happen here, John?
It's very simple. I'm not telling you this, Gene. I'm telling the Tigers. Pucker up. They got to get pucks to the net. Only 19 shots last night. They've got to do a much better job. In Policini, perfect. They are 5-0 in this building in the regular season. Air Force, they love coming to the Flower City. They love playing in this building. And the Falcon frustration, I think we saw the Tigers come unhinged last night. We saw Logan Drackett. We saw Gabe Valenzuela late in that game. Keep your poise, play your style, and you should come away with 2 points. It's going to take a great effort, though.
We'll have a call live coming up at 7:05 tonight. Kevin, can't wait for this one. Always a great matchup when RIT meets Air Force.
Yeah, always something good happens, guys. As we mentioned last night, a lot of these matchups end in either a tie or one goal. I believe it's 31 of the last 51 meetings now have ended that way. So we'll see if that way ends up here tonight. Well, with Air Force in town this weekend, we thought it would be appropriate to revisit our story on an individual who has ties to the United States Air Force and RIT. Among the over 4,000 seats here at the Gene Policini Center, one stands out from the rest. If you have been here, it's hard not to notice the lone orange seat among a sea of gray and black, because much like the former Tiger it honors, the seat stands out even in the biggest crowd.
His name was Green Williams.
He was just a great guy to be around. Everybody loved Green. They loved the way he operated. They loved the way he kidded around, and they loved his big burly mustache.
Williams and Jim Stanley were fraternity brothers at Phi Sigma Kappa back in the 70s. And while Stanley played football, Williams was a goaltender for the RIT hockey team.
Green wasn't the most gifted goalie in the world, but I soon learned by being with him quite a bit. He had the heart of a lion, and his work ethic made up for any skills that he lacked.
After graduating from RIT, Williams enrolled in the United States Air Force, where tragically he was killed in 1984 during a pilot training accident.
It was quite devastating because he was young. We were all young in our prime, and just getting started in life. So it was kind of a real shock. And to this day, whenever I see a jet stream across the sky, and anybody who knew Green closely thinks of Green.
Thanks to Green's sister, former teammates, and fraternity brothers like Stanley, a permanent tribute can be found in section 107, row K, seat number 8. A single orange seat right above the net where Williams spent his time as a Tiger.
How important is it to tell people that don't know about Green and what he not only meant to you, but to RIT?
I miss him. I guess I just miss my friend. Having the seat here, it gives us a chance to remember him. It gives us a chance to remember, what kind of fellow he was, and what he did for again RIT and his fraternity and especially his country. We're all proud of that, and I'm sure there's a lot of other people that went through the hockey program that served our country and may have been injured or may have actually been killed. But I saw the chance to recognize Green in a special way for everyone that served in our military.
Yeah, great tribute to Green and his family. Now, the orange seat is available for purchase throughout the hockey season. In addition to the seat, the men's hockey program also honors Green's memory with the Green B. Williams Award for Academic Excellence, which is awarded to the player with the highest grade point average each season. Well, we're closing in on game time here at the Policini Center. We'll get you back upstairs to John and Gene next, as RIT and Air Force are less than 10 minutes away from face-off. Grab your popcorn now and get settled in for another edition of this great series between RIT and the Air Force Academy. This is RIT SportsZone Pregame Live. Hey, just a reminder that RIT's 5-game homestand continues right back here next weekend. We are back with you on Friday when the Tigers host Sacred Heart. Game time 7:05. However, our broadcast will air on CW Rochester that night at 10 o'clock. If you want to be at the game next Friday night, and you're a student, you're in luck. Next Friday is Free Ticket Friday for RIT students here. Everyone else, well, you got to purchase your seats, but they're not expensive, as low as $6 here at the Policini Center box office. Stop on down or give them a call, 475-4121, or you can go online to RITtickets.com. Well, we're all wondering if RIT can snap a 5-game losing streak to the Air Force Academy here tonight at the Gene Policini Center. We're about to find out. Logan Dracke in net for the 13th straight game here tonight for RIT. Billy Christopoulos will also start for Air Force. He was in the net last night, stopping 18 of the 19 shots he faced. We'll see if RIT can score a few more on him here tonight. John and Gene will have all the action for you coming up next, and I will see you back here for the intermission report. The 57th all-time meeting between RIT and Air Force coming your way next. Enjoy the game, everyone. RIT SportsZone Live begins now.